NFL players that broke the rules. Big shout out to Rebound Football for the video we're about to react to. Listen, bro, at the time of this recording, we got 38.1 thousand subscribers on the road to 38.2K. Appreciate you guys so much. Let's get right into it, man.
Now, despite NFL players being under constant spotlight,
OBJ broke a rule?
Themselves to break rules for reasons that you won't believe.
What?
Odell Beckham Jr. trending year after year in the NFL, making unbelievable catches and constantly being surrounded by trade rumors.
Yeah.
He too broke the rules multiple times. 4
Like
years
what?
ago, NFL players didn't have anything other than the equipment given to them to make the plays that were needed to win games.
Yeah,
and over the
of
last
course.
decade, sticky gloves.
Oh my God, it's TD Barrett. What the? Bro, this is TD Barrett, dude. Oh my God. Does anybody say that in the comments, bro? Bro, that's crazy, bro. This is literally TD Barrett. It's funny. This guy put me on, bro. Like, literally, I'm a YouTuber because of him. If you guys know that story, you know it. If not, you know, I'll tell you about another time, but that's crazy. And speaking of this video specifically, one of my biggest videos, the Sticky Gloves video, I got the idea from this video from TD Barrett. It's one of his biggest videos too. Man, shout out to him, man. A good guy, man. We haven't talked in a long time, but
and other helpful equipment to become more popular in players who were just trying to put themselves ahead of the pack. And one of the most notable cases of sticky gloves goes back to 2014. In November of 2014, Odell Beckham Jr. and the Giants took on the Cowboys at MetLife Stadium.
Yes, sir. I love the Giants, bro.
To Odell that was a bit long and looked uncatchable. Odell reached back with one hand and he was able to bring the ball in with only 2 fingers.
How is that breaking the rule? By the way, I watched this play live with my mom on the couch while she was making spaghetti dinner, bro. Real talk, bro. That was a literal legendary moment, and I seen it with my own eyes in real life. I also saw the Paul George leg break moment when he was playing in the I don't know what it's called, the USA game or whatever, the practice scrimmage. I saw that live too with my mom on the couch when she was making spaghetti as well. Kind of weird, right? Same couch, same spaghetti, 2 different situations, but yeah, whatever. How did he break the rules? I don't see any rule break. He just caught the ball.
At first, a lot of people started to praise Odell for his catching ability, but haters decided to give his sticky gloves all the credit. According to the MIT Sports Lab, the grippy polymer used on the new generation of gloves, said to be developed first by a Canadian wide receiver and chemist in a Pakistan laboratory in 1999, is about 20% stickier than a human hand. Eagles cornerback Rasul Douglas spoke about Odell's catch and the sticky gloves in general when he said, "The gloves definitely helped him with the one-handed catches. You rarely see guys making one-handed catches without gloves on." And Rich
Bro, duh. That's the point of gloves, to make catches, right? The point of a glove is that your hands are stickier, that you make more catches. What the hell? Get off his nuts, bro.
Who's the chairman of the NFL's competition committee, even spoke about sticky gloves, saying, "There's no long-term statistical data that I've seen, but they definitely make some difference. There's no doubt about that." And many other cases of sticky gloves have been showcased over the years, and it started to make its way all the way to college when, just a year after the Odell catch, Penn State wide receiver Juwan Johnson caught an insane one-handed catch on an Ohio State defender.
I remember that.
It was cool at first, but it sparked controversy about sticky gloves and whether he would have caught the ball if he didn't have them on.
Bro, shut up. That's literally the point of gloves. That's not breaking a rule, bro. That's not breaking a rule. The point of cleats is that you make better grip. The point of gloves is that your hands got better grip. The point of a face mask is that your face don't get hit. The point of a helmet is that your head don't get hurt. The point of shoulder pads is the point that you make tackles. The point of knee pads is so your legs don't get hurt. The point of freaking thigh pads is so your thighs don't get hurt. It's football. It's called equipment. Okay, you equipped gloves to make more catches. How is that cheating, bro? I hate when people just be making, bro. Shut up. I'm not talking about the rebound. I'm talking about the people that be hating, bro. Don't ever hate on my freaking receiver. Oh wait, he plays for the Dolphins now. Yeah, he is a cheater. Forget OBJ. No, I'm joking. Yo, Hakeem Nicks is a legend though. This is my dog right here, bro. I'm saying Super Bowl freaking champion.
Time Hakeem Nicks had a lot to say about the gloves, saying, "You grip the ball better, no question. You don't even need to think about catching it. I definitely think it's a huge advantage for receivers. You see all these one-handed catches and guys snagging balls, you say, whoa, that's almost impossible. It slows the spin of the ball. I feel like if there's a ball anywhere near me and I can just get a hand on it, I feel pretty confident that I'm gonna catch it. Whether it's the gloves or hand-eye coordination. If I don't have gloves on, I might not be able to grab it with just one hand. It might slip out." But this wasn't the only time that Odell went against the rules. Shortly after being traded from the Giants to the Cleveland Browns, Odell started in his career first game as a Brown in early September this year against the Titans. And although the Browns lost, the big takeaway from the game was Odell, who seemed to walk into warm-ups wearing a watch.
Oh, I remember that. Wait, really quick. Are these Nike check earrings? That is very cool. I've never seen that. That is actually fire.
Browns lost. The big takeaway from the game was Odell, who seemed to walk into warm-ups wearing a watch. Nobody knew what kind of watch it was.
Oh, I know what that is. That's $350,000 freaking
the first NFL player to wear
Richard
a watch
Mille,
during
bro.
the game. The watch that Odell had on was a $350,000 Richard Mille, which remains the most expensive piece of equipment ever worn in a game.
That's crazy, bro.
The watch was the RM1103.
He got in trouble for that though. He got fined.
Back chronograph McLaren.
That's a nice watch.
First introduced in 2018 and created in a limited edition of just 500 pieces. And since sports like tennis, volleyball, and golf aren't contact
Let's be honest though, because I'm saying that's a nice watch, but I'm just saying that because I'm brainwashed. Let's be real. If you saw this this watch. Let's be honest. Would you spend $350K on this watch? If we want to be real, this looks like a G-Shock. Okay, and G-Shocks are 20 bucks. If we want to be honest, this looks like something that comes out of a cereal box. Let's be real. The watch is not nice, but I'm brainwashed like everyone else to say it's nice because we know it's expensive. That's sad. That is sad. That is pure sad. If this watch was only 50 bucks, no one would say it's nice. Isn't that crazy? America, man.
The automatic winding flyback chronograph McLaren, first introduced in 2018 and created in a limited edition of just 500 pieces.
It is nice.
And since sports like tennis, volleyball, and golf aren't contact sports, Richard Mille does sign on brand ambassadors for people who wear their timepieces during games. And although Odell...
Oh wait, they get brand ambassadors? This is the nicest watch I've ever seen, my boy. Sponsor me. I'm joking.
Isn't an ambassador? Maybe he was trying to be. But according to the NFL, Beckham was in violation of a league rule about wearing hard accessories during play.
Yeah.
And Hall of Famer Warren Sapp commented on Odell's watch after his 7-catch, 0-touchdown performance on opening day and said, "You can't wear a $350,000 watch or play like a $2 bill." And Odell, after taking...
chill out, Warren Sapp, bro. He had one bad game. It happens, bro. He's in the league, bro. Come on, bro. He's one of the greatest.
A lot of heat came out and said, if anybody else would have worn the watch, if it was a $20 watch, it would have been no problem. If it ain't this, it's something else. If it wasn't the watch, it would have been the way I tie my shoes.
No, bro. I don't think that's the case. I think the rule is not to wear hard objects, and you wore a hard object. I don't think it's the watch, bro. But I see what you mean. Actually, you might be right, because doesn't Justin Jefferson wear an entire chain during games? And he doesn't get fined, right? Unless they change the rules. I don't know. Go in the comments. I'm lost.
After taking a lot of heat and possibly a fine for wearing a watch in week 1, Odell came out in week 2 against the Jets in his return to MetLife Stadium, wearing yet again another expensive Richard Mille. Odell's watch was one who many people
that one's clear. That's
Richard
cool.
Mille's website saying only 10 of these specific models were ever made.
Wow.
They retail for $2 million. Many watch experts were talking about the watch on social media, and one even said our M5602 tourbillon sapphire case had to be milled and ground from solid pieces of sapphire.
Wow.
Any mistakes can result in the piece cracking. It takes 960 hours for one case, and there are almost 1,500 hours of sapphire machining in one watch. Odell would have been content if something happened.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The watch game is different, boys. Like, telling you, bro. I studied watches for like a couple months at one point because I really wanted to get into them. And you realize, bro, some of the time that they put into some of these pieces, bro, I see why they're expensive. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's collector's items. You know what I mean?
Happened to his watch in the first game, but since this specific model was so rare and hard to get, Odell left this one in the
Hey, look at Victor Cruz. That's a legend right there. My doggy.
room before coming out for game time. With the Chargers staying out of controversy for most of their time as an organization, back in 2012 was a different story, when the Chargers were caught doing something they shouldn't have. On October 15th, 2012, the Chargers faced the Broncos in the Week 15 matchup, and everything seemed normal until after the game. An NFL official was notified that the Chargers weren't surrendering the towels to the officials, which they and every other team was directed to do. After finally getting the towels and doing a further investigation, the NFL realized the Chargers were using stickum on their towels, which is a bannable substance that could be spread into anything in order to make things stick to it better.
Bro, I literally did a stickum video and it has like 4 or 5 million views. My biggest video on my channel, I think, bro. That's crazy, and trust me, it makes your gloves very sticky. If you guys haven't seen that video, you should definitely check it out, bro. So the fact that they were using it, I hope they got the hardest punishment, bro, because that's cheating.
Chargers were caught using stickum on their towels, which were used by the players to help with the stickum on their gloves. The NFL released a statement that said, as a result of the failure of club staff to follow the directive of a game official to immediately surrender the towels when directed to do so, and to attempt to conceal the towels, the Chargers have been fined $20,000. The Chargers went on to appeal the ruling and even released a statement of their own saying, our staff member was unaware that the game official was trying to get his attention. He cooperated fully once he became aware. The appeal was short-lived, and the Chargers faced the $20,000 penalty as well as having to fire the staff member who hid the towels. Yeah,
bro, like you can't say, oh, we didn't. Bro, you're cheated no matter what, bro. That's like if you cheat on your girl and then your girl asks you, did you cheat on me, but you didn't hear her because you had headphones on. So then she asks you 5 more times and then you finally hear her, and then she gets mad at you and you say, well, I didn't hear you the first time. If you would have asked me the first time, then I would have answered. Bro, it doesn't erase the fact that you cheated, bro. It don't matter when you told her, you still did. You feel me? That don't make sense, bro.
With Antonio Brown going from arguably the best receiver on the field to jobless and begging for another chance in the league, he too broke the NFL's rules multiple times. In late 2018, the NFL made the decision to change the style of helmets used in order to protect
I remember this.
Popular top
he didn't want to change his helmet
as soon as
because he
Antonio
said he liked
heard the
how I
news,
made him play.
He began contacting NFL officials and the Raiders, saying he'll be using his old helmet and he won't take no for an answer. Antonio's reason for not wanting to wear the helmet was because he said his vision was blocked. After figuring out that every other NFL player followed the rules of the helmet change, Antonio went out and tried to find a certain helmet that fit regulations. Antonio even tweeted saying, I'm looking for a Shut Air Advantage adult large helmet that was manufactured in 2010 or after. In exchange, I'll trade a signed practice worn Raiders helmet. And this whole ordeal, as well as Antonio's comments and attitude toward the Raiders, got him released not too long after the...
Why'd you get released though? I think I don't think that was bad. He realized that everyone else was changing, so he was trying to make an attempt to also follow the rules. So he was looking for a specific helmet though, but a helmet that does follow the rules. How is that bad? You feel what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. I don't think that's bad.
Patriots picked him up. But the controversy didn't stop there for AB. Right after beginning to play for New England, Brown went against some basic protocol. Part of NFL players' obligation as an athlete athlete is to talk to reporters and media about certain topics relating to the sports after games. Players are allowed to deny questions about personal matters, but the only main rule is that you have to at least address sports-related questions. Brown and the Patriots torched the Dolphins 43-0 during Week 2, with the Patriots constantly dominating.
Yeah, bro, that's the reason what the Marshawn Lynch, when he said, I'm just here so I don't get fined. For some reason in their contracts, like, they have to talk to the media, which I like that rule because, you know, as a fan, I love to hear people talk. This might sound like a weird thing to say, and I'm not a hater at all. Don't get me wrong. This is not like hater or like weird to me. It's just like, I just enjoy it a little bit. Whenever LeBron or Stephen Curry takes a loss and then they do press, I like watching their interview. I don't know why. I like seeing, I like seeing them when they win, but whenever they lose, I like to see what they say. I don't know why. It's like an interesting thing. Like, and it's not just me. If you look at the views on those videos, they're usually higher than when they get a win and talk. I think people just like to see how they're gonna react, and it's always cool to see, especially Stephen Curry. He always takes it on the chin, and he's always professional, even if he just got his team blown out, bro. So I respect that. I like watching them. I like watching people take L's. I don't know. I like to see how they bounce back and react to it. It teaches me something. You know what I mean?
Dominating the league year after year, they're still under constant spotlight, as some feel they shouldn't even be respected. In years past, plenty of scandals have surfaced around their team. On September 10th, 2007, New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick was accused by the New York Jets of authorizing his staff to film the Jets' defensive singles from an on-field location. This was a violation of the National Football League rules, and NFL security confiscated the video camera used by video assistant Matt Estrella to film the signals during the game. Jets head coach Eric Mangini had reported the fact that the Patriots were taping from the sidelines to the NFL security. And Mangini later said, "I didn't think it was any kind of significant advantage, but I wasn't going to give them the convenience of doing it in our stadium, and I wanted to shut it down. But there was no intent to get the league involved. There was no intent to have the landslide that it's become." 2 days later, Belichick issued a statement to apologize to everyone who's been affected, and also stated that he spoke with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell about the situation. In a September 2006 statement sent out by NFL Vice President of Football Operations Ray Anderson, it said all teams were told that videotaping of any type, included but not limited to taping an opponent's offense or defensive signals, is prohibited on the sidelines, in the coach's booth, in the locker room, or any other location accessible to club staff members during the game. On September 13th, Belichick was officially fined $500,000 for the incident to make sure that no other teams took a chance like this again.
Hey,
this was the largest
bro, you can't be out here freaking spying on teams and taking their plays. Yo, fun fact, I actually saw Bill Belichick in real life at the draft. Like, that was the weirdest thing. Like, I'm just, so first Pat McAfee walked by, and I saw Pat McAfee. It was cool. I'm like, okay, that's fire. Like, shout out to him and his podcast, everything he's doing, ESPN, like, you know what I'm saying? Motivation, like, legend right there, you know what I'm saying? And also, he's tapped into the YouTube community because he be talking about my boy Destroying on his stuff, which is cool. You know, so I don't know if he knows who I am, but he's tapped into the YouTube community, which is super fire. So I'm looking at him, and then I look to the right, and fast is Bill Belichick right here in front of me. Like, I could literally touch him. Like, he was right here. Like, no gate in between us, no security. Like, he's right here, bro. Like, I could have went like this and touched him, like, right there. And I look at him like, oh, it's Bill Belichick. That was like crazy. That was interesting to see, bro. Looks exactly how he looks on TV in real life. He's short though. Well, man, I'm just tall. I'm 6'3", so everybody's kind of short. That was a cool experience, bro. But yeah, man, you can't be out here cheating, bro. Come on, bro. Tripping, bro.
Ever opposed on a coach in the league's 87-year history, and the maximum permitted under league rules. The Patriots themselves were also fined $250,000, and they were stripped of their first-round draft pick selection.
Oh wait, Bill Belichick got fined $500K, and then the Patriots got fined another $250K. That's $750,000 mistake. That's insane.
2008 NFL Draft. Goodell said he fined the Patriots as a team because Belichick is effectively the team's general manager as well as the head coach, and exercises so much control over the Patriots' on-field operations that his actions and decisions are properly attributed to the club. The Patriots officially clinched their 5th straight AFC East Division title on November 25th, making them the first NFL team since the 1971 Miami Dolphins to have the first-round pick taken away by league action. And with the Patriots already being looked at heavily due to recent allegations, this wasn't the only controversy they'd been a part of. What was eventually called Deflategate led to huge headlines surrounding—
Yeah, what is this? Because I don't actually know what Deflategate is. I've never actually watched a video explaining it. All I know is I heard Tom Brady deflated balls to help get a win. I am so happy to hear about this right now because this will be my first time actually hearing about it.
New England that many didn't take lightly. This situation came during the 2014 playoffs in the AFC Championship game. Okay. During the first half of that championship game,
so already we're in the playoffs. So if you're cheating in the playoffs, that's very bad because this is winner go home right here.
Quarterback Tom Brady threw an interception to Colts linebacker DeQuell Jackson. Jackson handed the ball to the Colts equipment manager for safekeeping and as a souvenir. Early reports suggested that Jackson was the first to suspect the ball was deflated, but Jackson said that he didn't notice anything wrong with the ball when he caught it. Jackson says he actually didn't even know the ball was taken or that the controversy existed until he was being driven home from his team's charter plane after the Colts had arrived in Indianapolis. Wow. The official rules of the NFL require footballs to be inflated to
Bill Nye the Science Guy? Bill Nye the Science Guy. Is this Bill Nye the Science Guy? What the hell is he doing? What is he doing here, bro? I always used to see this guy in my classrooms on a freaking Promethean board. Funny.
Gauge pressure between 12.5 and 13.5 pounds per square inch, but the rules don't specify the temperature at which the measurements to be made. Prior to 2006, NFL rules were for the home team to provide all the game's footballs. In 2006, the rules were altered so that each team uses its own footballs while on offense. The teams rarely handle a football used by another team, except for after recovering a fumble or interception. And Brady, along with Peyton Manning, argued for the rules to change for the express purpose of letting quarterbacks use footballs that suited them. But Decole Jackson talked about the situation happening that game, and he said, "I wouldn't know how that could even be an advantage or a disadvantage. I definitely wouldn't be able to tell if one ball had less pressure than another." But after Jackson's interception, the team notified NFL Game Day operations that they understood there was a problem with the inflation level of the Patriots football. And at halftime, NFL officials inspected the football, and former NFL referee Jerry Austin incorrectly stated that 11 of the 12 balls used by the Patriots were measured to be 2 pounds per square inch below the minimum amount. But later reports said that only one single ball was 2 pounds per square inch below the minimum, while others were just a few ticks under the minimum. And it was subsequently revealed that an NFL official, Clete Blakeman's measurement, said that 5 of the 11 balls measured below 11 pounds. And Coach Bill Belichick went on to speak about the allegations, saying, "When I came in Monday morning, I was shocked to hear about the news report about the footballs. I had no knowledge of the situation until..."
So what? Okay, so if the ball is 0.5 pounds less, like what? How does that give an advantage to Tom Brady? I'm so lost.
Monday morning. I think we all know that quarterbacks, kickers, specialists, they all have certain preferences of footballs. They know a lot more than I do. They're a lot more sensitive to it than I am. I hear them comment on it from time to time, but I can tell you, and they'll tell you there's never any sympathy whatsoever from me on that subject. Tom's personal preference on his footballs is something that he could talk about in much better detail and information than I could possibly provide. Tom Brady's credibility took a dip.
I just don't get it, bro. Somebody go in the comments and explain to me why this is such a big deal. Like, I don't understand.
He eventually received a 4-game suspension despite appealing the rule. Brady even released a statement saying, "I'm very disappointed by the NFL's decision to uphold a 4-game suspension against me. I did nothing wrong, and no one in the Patriots organization did either. Despite submitting the hours of testimony over the last 6 months, it's disappointing that the commissioner upheld my suspension based upon a standard that it was probable that I was generally aware of misconduct. The fact is that neither I nor any equipment person did anything of which we've been accused. I also disagree with yesterday's narrative surrounding my cell phone. I replaced my broken Samsung phone with a new iPhone 6 after my attorneys made it clear to the NFL that my actual phone device would not be subject to investigation under any circumstance. As a member of a union, I was under no obligation to set a new precedent going forward, nor was I made aware at any time during Mr. Wells' investigation that failing to subject my cell phone to investigation would result in any discipline. But despite this happening, it hasn't held back Tom Brady at all, and he's gone on to win multiple Super Bowls since.
He's a legend.
He's only used this as motivation to prove to everyone why you can't take his label of the greatest of all time away." Hey, yo, Don, I know we talking about breaking rules.
Yeah, he's a GOAT, man. He's a GOAT, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, bro. Go in the comments, let me know what you guys think. I don't really understand it. But hey, man, appreciate the love and support. Make sure you guys put God first, and I'll see you boys in the next video, man. It's your boy Eli Mack. Gang, and girls, if any girls watch me. Love you too.